Alright, haven't done a video on Animal Crossing in a long time, but since it's the 1 year anniversary of New Horizons, I've had the game for a year. I've got it on the day it came out, and kind of just wanted to see how my town turned out after 1 year. So I guess I'll start with my main house. Yeah, it's been a crazy year, and this game has definitely filled a lot of the time during lockdown for me. So yeah, played it every single day since the game came out. 365 days. I don't know if that's impressive or sad or a little bit of both. Yeah, this is my main room. So I don't know why, but in most Animal Crossing games, my main room always sort of has the same layout with something in the middle and a barely wide enough pathway to go around the room. But yeah, in this room, filled it mostly with, dark items, very monochromatic with the red carpet accents. This train track set was one of the first items I got in the game. And then yeah, I filled it out with some shark-related items, being the models and fossil. I don't think this is going to be too much different than the last video that I made for my house, but the town itself has had some changes. Once again, this is kind of the workshop area where I do most of the crafting. A lot of extra fish models here. I guess I kind of have it set up to look like this is where my character's building the fish models, but I like it. It's a nice brick workshop. Then the room in the back. Honestly, probably my least favorite room, but haven't gotten around to changing it. It's a little kitchen. Yeah, just kind of a classic kitchen style. Nothing too special. Then the room on the right. It's a little bedroom. Again, one of the first rooms I put together. Nothing too fancy, but now that I think of it, it wasn't too different than what my apartment looks like. Kind of unintentional, but good way to work out. Or good the way it worked out. And upstairs, again, it's like the way it turned out. It's sort of like an office, lounge area, high class art all around, some fish related fossils, and of course gotta have the beta fish. Kind of in memoriam to my pet beta fish that passed away last year. Very sad. Especially because it was like the only living companion I had for most of 2020. And then, oh, I forgot to show the basement. Yeah, so then the basement is the fish room. Goal is to have a room like this in real life. A bunch of different pet fish. Got a sturgeon, frog and neon tetra, guppy, rainbow fish, besides the great white, I have all the 15,000 bell fish here. Like the stringfish, dorado, coelacanth, barrel-eye, golden trout, and the gigas clam. Huh. It's just a nice little fish room. Our rooms aren't quite as elaborate as some of the ones you see online, but I'm happy with it. Seeing a lot of people post 1 year ago today in their Animal Crossing town, and they sent letters to themselves like, hey, I hope the pandemic's over this time next year, and it's like, well, not so much. Anyways, for my main house, I have this yard and, of course, more fish models. Couldn't fit the arapaima in the basement, so he has his own spot out here. Also, snapping turtle in its house. Got a barbecue. Nice little garden. Again, arapaima model. Kind of redundant having it so close to the actual arapaima, but coelacanth model, of course, favorite fish. Over here, another one of the first things I set up in my island was this little telescope and good little point. Kind of pushed the bench over so I could fit the oarfish model there. Still iffy on that. Might change it again. Of course, Trilo Beach. Originally, before the diving update came out, I had these all as trilobite fossils, but then when horseshoe crabs came out, I had to put them there. So yeah, I guess I'll start this way to the main town. Kind of call it Dino Alley. Some of my favorite dinosaur models. Or not models, I guess, but, you know, full fossils. Then getting into the neighborhood kind of area. See if I can find all my villagers, but Cube and Renee. There's Cube. I had Cube way back in one of my GameCube towns, so a bit nostalgic. Got some nice tire seating on the beach, telescope, and Maui statue. Easter Island statue, I guess I should say. The pufferfish and blowfish and ocean sunfish models all together, since they're sort of all in the same group. Here, very fitting for the anniversary, there's KK, and Teddy was one of my first two villagers with Hazel. So, I haven't had anyone move out. I said it last video, but got abandonment issues. I hate having villagers move out. So yeah, Teddy and Hazel, first two villagers, so they're neighbors on the kind of starting area of the island. You know, before you had bridges and the vaulting pole. Yeah. Kind of hate how cluttered some of their houses look just with the things I've given them over the year. Some of their houses are pretty chaotic now. I wish there was a way you could, like how you can reset their clothes, you could reset their houses. I could fix it by having them move out and move in again, but again, don't want to deal with that hassle. I have the char model over here. It was in the original GameCube game. It was the last fish I needed to catch before getting the goldenrod, so bit of a shrine to it there. And over here, we have the last two villagers that moved into my town. Willow actually being the very last. Yeah, her house is a good example of how kind of cluttered they've become. Like, she has this nice fancy house and then just a lawn chair. Alright, so don't insult the lawn chair. Note to self. Seems to be a fan of it. Of course, with Cyrano being an anteater, had to give him the termite mound and the ant model. Sort of let the green mums kind of go crazy. I can't bring myself to get rid of them since they're sort of a rare flower. Might sell them to someone on Reddit or something. Here we have Stonehenge. At one point I had my third house here, but I didn't like it there, so I ended up moving it. You'll see it in a bit, but decided to put Stonehenge here, and of course, it's made by aliens, so had to have the alien statues. Then I have this nice rose garden. Nothing too fancy, but one of the first things I set up in my town, so have to keep it, of course. And then, of course, a long-term project, beetle garden. Trying to get all the beetle models. It's a little overgrown with flowers right now. It rained the other day, but it's pretty nice. It's kind of chaotic with all the beetle models around, but I like it. Don't really have a order to this tour, but this area beside my house, this was like a natural water feature. I haven't changed the geography of the town too much, but I've left this pond completely intact, and this area completely kind of still, you know, that original Animal Crossing vibe of being a forest, not too developed. Because I should finish this sort of chunk of the island first before moving on. And so some cutouts, just kind of as decoration, nice little beach relaxation spot. Place to do laundry. Of course, the entrance to my town, you have Goldfish Park, with all the goldfish and associated models, and some roses to match. Nice cannon and anchor pieces, some decoration, signposts to find your way around. We have the Able Sisters. And I think I said it last time, but I call this area Flex Garden, since it's got the rarest golden flowers, money tree, and Jacob's, or Lily of the Valleys. I'm pretty sure this is the 99,000 bell tree, but I haven't checked it, obviously, but that's how much I planted there. So it's probably just 30,000, but here we have another little beach area. Sort of relaxing beach vibes. Got sand castles and surfboards. Nothing too fancy. Then over here, we have sort of the second neighborhood I set up. So Sherb was the third villager I had move in. Sort of a coconut forest. Yeah, I do know, because I'm also them. Multiple identities. Here we have Sherb, fan favorite. Nice little goat man. Well, another beach picnics area. And over here we have the fishing dock with all, of course, you can see a theme, all the fish models for the dock exclusive fish. The tuna took the longest to get, even though I guess it's kind of the most common one of them. Yeah. I guess I should say in the other neighborhood, no, there was Hazel, Teddy, Ken, Cube, and Renee. This one's Sherb, Patty, and Margie. Or Margie, I guess. This area I kind of just have left as a forest. Again, I like the foresty aesthetic. And then over here, of course, we have the museum. Some more of my favorite fossils. It's kind of a nice garden. Again, overgrowing a little bit because of the rain the other day, but I'll fix that later. I guess I'll show how filled out the museum is. At this point, I've finished the bugs, fossils, fish, and sea creatures, but long way to go left on the paintings and the art. Because you know how fickle that is to get. Have to get lucky and have Red show up, and then also have him bring something real that you don't have. There's the cicadas. Little pond. It's funny, this game's only a year old and I've been playing it every day, yet somehow, maybe because it's like the other Animal Crossing games, but just get very nostalgic. It was a big part of this past year for me. Again, spent at least half an hour every day playing it, so wasn't able to do much else this year. But just looking at all the bugs going down memory lane, thinking of all the time I've spent. First time I caught each one of those bugs. The ambient lighting in this room is great, but very beautiful. I think I did this last time, but there's the hidden bug up there. Yeah, the hidden moth. I think it's a centipede sometimes, but little bug lab with cameo from I guess he's Flick's dad, but wait, when I did that, oh, it's the lights. Okay, I was wondering what that pole was. Yeah, completely filled out bug exhibit. Guess proof. The last one I caught, of course, was the dung beetle. Caught it during a very busy time, so that's why I didn't do a hunt for the dung beetle video like I did with the pufferfish, or the blowfish one. Everyone's favorite bug room, the butterfly room. Very serene. I mean, they're still adding stuff to this game a year out. So, there's hope that we'll get Brewster and the gyroids yet. But at this point, kind of doubting it. Hopeful, but not expecting it. might as well go to the painting room, the art room next. So I have quite a bit filled out, but probably only about half. I think the Mona Lisa there was my most recent addition earlier this month. Yeah, a lot of empty space over here. It's nice that in this game your villagers will mail you art, but occasionally I always get fake art. I think I've only got like 2 or 3 real art from villagers. Of course, this Ferris Bueller. That scene from Ferris Bueller is the only thing I can think of when seeing this painting. I wish the other exhibit wasn't in the way, but you know the scene in Ferris Bueller where he's like looking at the painting, making eye contact with the kid in the middle. Just realizing it now, but that one animal beside the dog in the bottom right corner kind of looks like she's walking a squirrel monkey. You see, like right there? Kind of looks like a squirrel monkey. This is probably, in real life, my favorite painting. Like, The Starry Night by Van Gogh. Don't know why, just like it. Back in elementary school, we had to do an art assignment where we had to do pastel drawings in the style of Starry Night, and I didn't do too well in it. I'm not the most artistic person. But now to the fossil exhibit. In real life, I like museums. I was able to go to the museum when restrictions kind of lifted another time, just see everything again. Realize how much I missed it, but I always like going and seeing the fossils. And I said it last time too, I think, but I really like how, like, as someone with a zoology degree, like, I really like how they made this, like, an accurate tree of life where it branches out from the lobed fin fish and early tetrapods into the vertebrate, or the tetrapods. And of course, all the fossils. Really cool. Feels like a real museum. Of course, the classic Triceratops T-Rex standoff. Since the game's come out, though, there's been a bunch of new papers on Spinosaurus, and Spinosaurus is that dinosaur that if you follow anyone on Twitter that's like a paleontologist, like every other month there's like new paper. Spinosaurus was actually like this. Like this one has the quadrupedal, almost crocodilian version, but it has the accurate kind of M-shaped sail. But yeah, after this game came out, there was a paper that was like, it actually had a paddle tail instead of a long, typical theropod tail. Yeah, it just keeps changing. Of course, got the meteorite in the background. It's the first time I realized it does a different sound cue when you do that. Never realized that before. And we have good old synapsids leading to the mammal lineage. And after the KT event. I like how in this, like, you can't rotate the camera freely, like that's kind of unfortunate in this room, but it's nice that they have those kind of viewing points where you stand on and it changes the angle. And then we have the kind of Ice Age animals, mammals. Fun fact, the Australopithecus skull, I think it's at like 2 a.m. its eyes glow. I have a feeling that this video is just going to be exactly the same as the last one I made, but... Oh, that video was like 6 months ago, so it'll still be nice to kind of compare how my town has changed since then. Not too much, probably, but just enough. But thinking back a year ago, like, how much the town has changed. I kind of liked how in this Animal Crossing they made you take things slow. Like, you can do everything you wanted on day one. You have to slowly unlock things. Kind of help pace it out a bit. I know I'm guilty of it, but like sandbox games, I'm very guilty for just like rushing through and trying to get everything done at once. And here we go. Of course, as a fish biologist myself, my favorite room, or favorite exhibit being the fish exhibit. Nice little kind of aquaria fish there. And the kind of typical northern hemisphere pond. Then we have, of course, the river fish. We got the, I guess you call your haling fish that go from saltwater to freshwater. I don't know why the tilapia is in this exhibit. I think I said it last time, but it would have, I feel like, been a better fit in the kind of tropical fish tank here. I also like how the museum, like, it starts off very empty, but as you donate fish, decorations get added too. So I still remember in the spring, before any of these fish were able to catch, and this was just an empty, dark tank, but then as you caught fish, the trees were added in, and the light, and everything. Yep. Very cool. Of course, if you didn't know, as with all Animal Crossing games, the piranha tries to eat you. It's been a while since I've been to a real aquarium. The museum I go to has like a little bit of an aquarium because it has a exhibit on freshwater systems, but it's like one tank with fish, not like huge aquarium like this. Yeah, you can see some of the sea creatures that I've caught in addition to all the fish. Have that finished too. Just a nice kind of coastal kelp forest environment. Pretty cool. I guess they were planning to have all this added since the start, because, you know, this panel was here and no one knew what it was really for, and then they added sea creatures and perfect place for a jellyfish exhibit. Same sort of thing with this, the Antarctic kind of exhibit. The only thing in there was sea angels, and it seemed like a big exhibit for just sea angels, but... And they added more to it. And of course, an aquarium staple, the coral reef. Just the little details, like I said it before, but the garden eels, like how they react to you. Nice coral reef. Then we have the open ocean exhibit, of course, with all the big fish. I've said it before, but I really like the little details, like how the remora attaches to the different sharks and how the fish will sometimes attack the anchovies. Like the tuna just did there. And then, of course, my favorite, the deep sea. Well, I guess it's not my favorite biome, but has my favorite fish, the coelacanth. Can't remember if I said this in the last video, but oh, not Nook Miles. One detail I liked is how in the glass sponge you can see a pair of shrimp in each of them. That's based off of how in real life there's a species of shrimp that when they're larvae they get into the sponge and they live in it and grow and breed and reproduce in there, but they never leave, and sort of like their own biodome almost, I guess you could say. Yeah, so I mean, everyone's museum ends up looking the same by the time you donate everything, but so just a bit of a flex showing that I've completed it. And I guess once again for the proof, yeah, here's all the fish and all sea creatures. Kind of sad that they cut some of the fish, like the barbel steed and the rainbow trout. Like the barbel steed, I felt like it was an Animal Crossing staple, but I guess they felt it was a bit redundant. Same with the rainbow trout, since I guess the golden trout's just another kind of subspecies of rainbow trout, so. Of course, I'm always going to want more fish. That's an update I'd like to see, but I know they'd never do. It's add like another 5 species of fish. Be pretty neat. Guess over here, I didn't really have anywhere else to plant cosmos, so have them here. I've had different items kind of in the centerpiece here, but haven't found one that I liked. Of course, a staple of every Animal Crossing town, the orchard. I just realized how many of my villagers have really thick eyebrows. Yeah, all the fruit, plenty of them. My town native fruit being the orange, and then I kind of planted them in the order that I got them. And then up here, or I guess I'll come at it from the other side to show. First around back here, kind of have the isopod meeting area. You just need to catch a wharf roach and make a model of it, but I don't have all 3 types of isopods in the game here. Then this is sort of like where, I don't know, the town gets its power from. It's windmills and solar panels. Felt like it was a good little detail to have back there. Then we have not quite as elaborate as the beetle garden, but we have the butterfly garden, sort of in a rainbow, with matching colors to the butterfly. Then a little picnic table with models of 3 first ocean fish in Animal Crossing, with the exception of the jellyfish, of course, because you can't make a model of that, unfortunately. Now this is the second house I made, because, you know, had a lot of time to kill, might as well make a second house, make more rooms. Of course, first off, the big Dimetrodon shrine. I'm trying to remember, but some Duo made a music video. There's a song where someone's just like singing the praises of Dimetrodon, and someone made like a music video for it in Animal Crossing. Over here, a little classroom, you know. One day I ended up getting the classroom desk and chair, so I decided to make a full classroom. Just because. Back here, sort of just I don't know what you call it, like a cottagecore kind of room. Again, just sort of a bedroom, nothing too fancy, but very nice how it turned out, I think. This room I recently changed. I had it as like a blue room before with a bunch of blue stuff, but I didn't really like that, so sort of turned it into like a garden patio. I like brick, so I think this is a little nicer than the other room I had here before. Oh, I always forget the basement. I always forget the basement. I showed it last time, but changed the wallpaper and the carpet, I think. Or maybe just the carpet. Yeah, this is sort of like a ode to all villagers I've had in the past. Definitely got these through legitimate amiibo cards and not spoofed amiibo cards, but just sort of commemorating all the villagers I've had in the past. Of course, this isn't all of them, because like in the first Animal Crossing game, when I had it, I wasn't, and like even for Wild World, I wasn't allowed to play video games during the week. So of course, I wouldn't talk to a villager for a couple days, and every week there'd be a new one moved out, new one moved in. So, these aren't maybe all the villagers I've had, but they're the ones that I remember the most. I guess, yeah, I got Animal Crossing Christmas 2002 or 2001. No, I guess it'd be 2002, but it was my first video game, so hence why I'm still playing it. Very nostalgic person. Up here, we have the camping area. Planted some pansies around, but just sort of tried to keep it as a foresty kind of area and the natural landscape of the island. And of course, when the Halloween update came out, needed a place to grow pumpkins, so this area was fairly open, so decided to turn it into a pumpkin patch. Nothing too fancy there. Literally just big square of pumpkins. In this area, again, tried to keep the natural kind of foresty aspect of Animal Crossing. Over here we have the fishing spot with a bunch of fish models. I guess of like all the fish that people actually sport fish for, like sturgeon and salmon, and just a nice little fishing area with the Statue of Liberty in the back. There was a pond here originally. It's in a similar shape to this, but I just made it a little bit bigger to make it more like a fishing spot. Of course, added this staircase down so you can get to Red when he's here without having to have your ladder on you at all times. Yeah, of course, being a fisherman myself, gotta have a fishing area. Then up here, I mentioned before, I had two beta fish, Rango and Silver, and they both passed within a month of each other, so have a little memorial garden to them. With roses in the colors that they were. But I had Rango, the Delta, he was a, what was it? A twin tail super Delta, and then Silverstein was just a half moon, but just a nice little memorial garden for them. And a place for me to put all my lilies of the valley because they were sort of overtaking my town. And they still are. I think it's like once a week a new one grows if you have a 5-star town, so they always grow right along this cliff edge. So, yep, 2 more there. Another one. There's Ken. Yeah, here we have tulip fields. Tulips are probably my favorite flower, so just a nice place for them. And this is new since the last one. Turtle Point. This little... I was gonna make that like turtles joke, but you know, I like turtles, so gotta have a place to put them. I wish the soft shell turtle wasn't in a bucket, but I get why it is. And of course, the biggest turtle ever. Yeah. And then my third house. I've contemplated making the 4th house and making it green themed, but I haven't yet. Oh, I just realized I didn't show the upstairs to the 2nd house. So chaotic. Yeah. First room, just sort of a nice kind of cabin. Nothing too fancy. And then over here, just sort of a green themed ironwood room. Again, nothing too fancy, just simple room for a simple man. Over here, sort of an exercise yard, construction site area. I think it's pretty much the same since the last time. 6 months ago. Then up here, changed this room a bit. It was the Coelacanth Shrine before. Now it's Coelacanth Shrine and Pirate Room. Nothing too fancy, but sort of a cool little room. Now, last time I didn't have anything upstairs here, but kind of went through various iterations of this room, but you'll see when I go back to the other room how it's like, this one's blue in themed with the house, the other one's red in theme. And of course, more coelacanths. Yeah, it's sort of just like a nice little bedroom hangout area, blue in theme. Yeah, I think there's just 2 areas left to do. Gotta double back and show the upstairs to the red house. Of course, one of the first things I bought with Nook Miles. A little hidden now, but still got Godzilla chilling in the background. So yeah, I might go back and make a 4th house, but again, no idea where to put it. Over here, a little Zen garden, bamboo grove I call it. Bunch of lilies and bamboo furniture. Yeah. The spa, I guess, with the crab shrine. The blue crab sits on his blue throne. Yeah, this game has been a really important part of my 2020 pandemic, so it's what helped keep my mental stability holding on by a thread. But things are getting better now. Vaccines are out, getting distributed, so soon things will go back to normal and I can have a real social life instead of Animal Crossing. All my friends who played Animal Crossing dropped off pretty quickly, so I'm the only one to hold out. Fake fans, but yeah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, just like the other room, you saw it was blue in theme. This one made red in theme. It's a cozy little bedroom. I forgot that painting was even there. Yeah, that about does it. I think in the other video I showed all my villagers, but there's Hazel, Teddy, Sherb, Patty, Margie, Cube, Renee, Cyrano, and Willow. I think that about does it. So yeah, I guess for whatever reason, my Animal Crossing videos are the ones that get the most views. Don't really know what else to do with it though. Maybe I'll do a video where I do make that 4th house, and each episode will be dedicated to decorating one of the rooms. But yeah, I think that about does it. So, thanks for watching. I was hoping KK would like play us off. There we go. Okay. Thanks for watching. 1 year of Animal Crossing.
with me, oh, ah, oh.